Hey, what is going on, YouTube friends? So I want to make a quick video on street photography and actually fear in street photography in general. To a lot of people, it could be pretty intimidating to go out into the streets in a downtown area, urban area, or even in suburban areas and just go up and take photos of random people that you don't know. You know, when I first got into street photography, or first found out about street photography several years ago, I thought that was like a pretty cool concept, and I'm like, whoa, those guys are brave or whatever. And I actually thought it was a pretty cool concept and idea to go out there and do that type of stuff. And I got interested in it. So eventually I gave it a shot, and you know, I was pretty intimidated and just, you know, I wanted to do it, but the fear just held me back. The intimidation factor just held me back. So I started meeting up with a group of guys, and we would go out into the streets of the downtown Dallas area, Fort Worth area, and we just do street photography, start taking photos of just everyday life downtown. And I noticed some of the people in the group, you know, would just go up to random strangers and get in front of them and snap a photo without asking and walk off, or just snap a photo and say, hey, how's it going, and walk off, and nothing happened, you know. So I saw that in action, and I thought it was you know, pretty cool. And I wanted to do that too. So eventually I ended up, you know, just doing it, just going for it. If you, in my opinion, if you want it bad enough, you'll end up doing it, if that's what you really want to do. Some things that helped me get over the fear is, I made a little list here, and I wanted to share that with you all, which is the purpose of this video. So number one, go photographing with a group of people, and that's what I did. Just went out into the streets and did photography with a group of friends and have fun while doing it, and it kind of gets you accustomed to doing that type of stuff. Number two and number three kind of go hand in hand, but start conversations with random people in the streets while you're out. Have your gear on you while you do that, so they see that, you know, hey, what are you up to? They're up to you know, out here taking photos. They may ask you about your gear. You know, compliment them. You know, if there's someone you see that, you know, has a cool hat on or shirt, and you want to take their photo, just, hey man, cool shirt, can I make a portrait of you? And more than likely, most times they'll say yes. I actually last year, when I did it, out of the, I don't know how many people I photographed, I had maybe one or two people turn me down that I asked. Now I photographed several people without asking, and of course, you know, there's no conversation there for the most part, but yeah, compliment them and ask. Tell them, you know, you're working on a particular project, and just, you know, tell them you're working on a particular project and you want to make a photo of them, and see what they say. Number four. Now this, I'm into film photography, and I also inherited a film camera from my dad, but this you may have to invest some money in, but this also really helps, and it's a awesome tool. Go get an old vintage camera, take it out on the streets and use it. Go get a film camera, invest. I mean, you can pick one up for 100, 200 bucks. I mean, really, it comes down to how bad do you want to go out into the streets and shoot strangers. If you want it bad enough, this may be an option. Because, and I wrote an article on this on my blog, which I can link to my website at the bottom of in the show notes or whatever. But yeah, invest in a camera that's, you know, an older film camera, and use it. Go purchase 5 or 10 rolls of film, or, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8 rolls of film, however much you think you need, and just go out 2 or 3 times with that camera and into like maybe a downtown type area, and go shoot. The camera that I take, actually a few cameras that I've taken, every time I go out, I get people coming up to me asking about my camera. Oh, that looks so cool. That's an old camera. Is that shooting film? Yeah, I'm shooting film. Wow, I didn't even know it existed anymore. And a lot of times they'll ask you to take their photo. And that's also a good opportunity if you have a business to give them a business card and maybe generate some business down the road. So yeah, that's an option. Take a old vintage camera and go out into the streets. Tip number 5, just keep at it. Keep going back to the same locations. A lot of times, like in downtown urban areas, you'll see some of the same faces. If you go down over and over and over again, you'll see the same faces, people hanging out at coffee shops or you know, bars or whatever. Start conversations with them. If you're doing that and you're going back over and over and over again, they're going to get accustomed to seeing you down there, especially carrying around a camera. And you know, that may break down some barriers and some walls into starting conversations and being able to take their photos. So that's another option. And number 6, this is kind of like a tip, and this doesn't come from me. This is, I think, the person who said this, the photographer who said this, I think it's Robert Capa. I know that Bruce Gilden also quoted it. I think he quoted Capa when he said this, but he said that if your photos aren't good enough, then you're not close enough. Now, there are street photographers and documentary photographers that will get a foot or inches away from somebody in front of their face and snap a photo. Of course, it all depends on what you're going for, but you know, keep in mind, the closer you are to somebody, you know, it's like you're not trying to hide anything. If you're across the street and you've got a zoom lens and you're taking a photo of somebody from across the street with a zoom lens, and they see you, it's like, man, that's kind of that's kind of, you know, on the creep factor. So get close. Don't be afraid to get close. Don't try to hide what you're doing. Just be open and honest about what you're doing, and do it. Get close. And I like that quote. If your photos aren't good enough, then you're not close enough. That's kind of, you know, that goes to say, you know, hey, you know, people have their, what is it, their comfort zones, or their little personal space. Get right up to it. Get right up to that personal space of theirs. You know, most people, like I said, most people aren't going to have a problem with you taking their photo, even if you don't ask. And if they do, and they try to start something, the law is behind you. There's nothing illegal about taking random people's photos in public. So go out there, do it, keep at it, work at it, and get it done. I'd like to see y'all do it if you want to. Comments, questions, leave them below. I'm gonna leave the link to my website below. Also, at the right here in a second, I'm gonna put some photos that I did last year of some street photography that I did, and I'm gonna end the video with that. These photos, I think most of them are in a book that I created last year. If you want to support this channel and what I'm doing, or if you want to support local artists like myself, you know, go over, pick up a copy of this book. It's not super expensive. I'm only making like a couple bucks off of each copy. I'm not trying to, you know, price them outrageous or anything. But anyway, I'll leave a link to that below. If you don't want to support me, that's fine. Go support other local artists that are out there creating and doing amazing work. All right, that's all I have for now. I'm on my lunch break. I got to get back. So y'all have a good day, have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.
Worth more than gold. All I want is to hit my big break. All I want is a slice of that cake. All I need is the American pie. Just enough, it's enough to get by. All we want is them stars and stripes. Beverly Hills with your name in lights. Selling, I'm buying, no self-control. You gain the world and you lose your soul, but it's worth more than gold.